show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
So, here's something to consider. Charles Manson, noted out of his mind wackadoo, and mass murderer is getting married to a girl that's reasonably easy on the eyes. You know what this means? Mass murdering idiot Charles Manson, crazy mass murdering idiot Charles Manson has a girlfriend and you don't. She's like 26 years old too. He's 60 something. We'll get into the whys and wherefores of the Manson matrimony a little later on in the show. Right now, though, I would like to encourage you to do something today. I'd like to encourage you to give something to somebody else. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of a skeptic when it comes to, well, pretty much everything. Whether it be ghosts or the ghost stories people call religion. But if I can come up with one piece of proof that there is perhaps a creator, intelligent design, something larger than us at work, it's the fact that we were put on this earth and wired to look after one another. The story of Cain and Abel, which has been twisted by pretty much every hate group in the world to justify mass murderings and killings and hate crimes and things of that nature, to me, is just God saying, hey, I put you on this earth to look out for one another. Watch each other's ass. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes. Yes, you are. And that means look out for one another. The fact that when you help someone, you feel good about yourself, doesn't that tell you something? Doesn't that tell you that there's a very good chance that might be a purpose or a higher calling? Help someone. Be awesome to one another. And you know what else? It's interesting. Chemically, we are wired to feel good about ourselves when we help someone else. We get this little hit of chemical releases in our brain that cause happiness when we help somebody else out. Even when we see somebody else help someone out, we go, oh, that was cool. Faith in human nature restored. And whatever the appropriate hashtag is to go with it. Just seeing an act of human kindness makes us feel good about ourselves. And if we witness that, we're much more likely to go out and help someone else. And then we're going to feel good. And the person that we helped is going to feel a little bit better. And yeah, it's a much more effective way to go through life. Helping other people is like it's nature's antidepressant that has been given to us to help us figure out why we were put here on this earth. Now, okay, helping other people, that sounds like a lot of effort, doesn't it? Sounds like a lot to get done. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have, I don't know how I would begin to help. You got to look for an opportunity to help before you help. And well, got to make a living. Got to eat. Got to pay bills. Got to piss away half our lives under fluorescent tubes, working for the man, doing something we despise so I can go home, grab a bite to eat, fall asleep in front of the TV, then come back to work and do it all over again. Yeah, here's the thing. If you're looking at life that way, you can break that up. You can break up that miserable, soul-destroying cycle by just being awesome to somebody else. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take spare spending money. It doesn't take a whole lot to make a difference in someone's life. Just give somebody some encouragement. Could be someone you've never met before in the street. Hey, I like that hat. You ever done that before? I do that all the time. I'm kind of a sneaker fiend. Like, I have a collection of Adidas that would rival most rappers and basketball players because I love Adidas. It's what I love. And whenever I see somebody with, like, what I consider to be a really dope pair of kicks on, some badass sneakers, I tend to go, hey, those are awesome sneakers. And people go, oh, thanks, man. Unless I'm in the wrong neighborhood, in which case people go, you can't have them. But the difference going, hey, nice pair of sneakers can make in someone else's day and your day, respectively, is huge. Encouragement is something that you can give easily to anyone and everyone. You don't have to have money. You don't have to have a ton of time. Maybe you could just listen for a second. Maybe you can listen to someone's problems and offer them not necessarily a solution, but the idea that someone's there to listen for them. And the idea that you think things are going to improve. It could be as simple as a smile. A smile to a stranger, although not in a creepy way. Got to be careful of the context there. Not unlike telling someone that their sneakers are cool because they think they're going to get mugged for them, and that causes them to have an entirely different chemical reaction, one where they might pull a knife on you and be like, back the hell up. So, be aware of that. But just a smile, a piece of encouragement. Words to someone else that things are going to get better. Don't try and solve people's problems. Don't try and throw your money at them. Don't try and throw your time and effort at them. Just offer them a smile, a listening ear. And the idea of a possibility that things are going to improve. Costs nothing to help someone, yet it pays you back so much over and over and over again. And it really is part of what makes the world go round. Like I said, as a skeptic, one who doesn't believe in the ghost stories a lot of people call religion a lot of the time. A skeptic isn't really fair. And it's saying I don't believe in the ghost stories that people call religion makes me sound like I'm being flippant or dismissive of other people's faith. And I'm really, really not. I believe in the value of it. But as a skeptic of pretty much everything, I think the best piece of proof that we have, that we're here on this earth for a reason, is the fact that when you help other people out, you feel better.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Jimmy Page to discuss what immediately followed the disbanding of the Yardbirds.
Well, the Yardbirds actually folded in July of 68. We are actually recording in October. I say we, the Led Zeppelin, and Robert, are recording in September, right at the end of September, and in October 68. So in between that time, from the end of July, I'm searching for a singer, and I'm looking for Terry Reid. And if you hear any of the Terry Reid stuff, you'll know exactly what way I was sort of going. Unfortunately, by the time he was located, he'd already signed a solo deal, so he was sort of out of the equation. I went to see Robert, and I invited him to come to my house to go through material. And at the time, it was under the sort of cloak of invisibility almost of the new Yardbirds.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Jimmy Page and all your favorite artists.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Fitz and the Tantrums to find out what their success means to them.
Our entire experience of being together has been a dream come true. A lot of bands don't get this opportunity. So every day we sit in gratitude, because we could still be singing at the Hotel Cafe. You know what I mean? So we feel very fortunate. We hope that we inspire other artists that are on the come up to do the same thing, to never say no, to work, to
not giving up.
Yeah, not getting out of line and just, holding it down for themselves and their love for their craft.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Fitz and the Tantrums and all your favorite artists.
This is Extreme Talk on iHeartRadio. Generational, provocative, entertaining.
Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving your music a savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD, and can't nobody rock a body better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving your music a savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD, and can't nobody rock a body better than me. Hey, you, what's that sound? Coming so loud from your radio dial. AD, be getting down when you're rocking the jams. Here I am, I'm back once again. I'm ruling all city like the king I am. A master plan, coming from a faster man. I kick feeling.
You've got mail.
Oh, good. In radio, it's considered to be a courtesy when you leave, you zero out the board so that the person that comes in next doesn't have any mishaps like that.
Biatch.
Yeah, professional courtesy, courtesy schmurtesy.
Biatch.
Yeah, more or less. Hey, so Charles Manson has a girlfriend that's reasonably easy on the eyes that he's going to get married to. You don't. What does that say? Well, we'll get into the We'll get to the whys and wherefores of that, and we'll discuss how old Charlie Manson is managing to enter into sweet, sweet wedded bliss matrimony whilst in prison, and the rules that govern a prison wedding. It is interesting. Did you see any of this, Funkhauser?
No.
It's it's illuminating. People that mass murder and live in prison are allowed to have a reasonably good life on the taxpayer dollar, all things considered.
Strange.
Yeah. Today, though, let's do our usual, and let's take a look at the events of this week in our segment, My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair. Certainly not balanced. My headphones broke.
Oh, what kind of broke? I'm using, like plastic broke, or?
Nah, like somehow the cable snapped. Like there was a little break in it, and I'm pretty careful with them, so I don't know exactly what happened. But I'm using a different pair of headphones today, and it's like using an uncomfortable pair of underwear that bunches up. You know, when you buy that
like
really
using
cheap...
someone else's tampon.
Yeah, well,
they go on your face, man.
No, I'm using a pair of headphones that I own. These have never been in anybody else's ears. So, yeah, no, it's not like, borrowing a community condom and having at it or using someone else's tampon. Hold on. I'm just trying to douche that mental image out of my mind unsuccessfully. Yeah. And it's weird. Everything sounds different. It's like being in unfamiliar territory. It's like doing the show for the first time. It's like... You know that Kevin James thing when he talks about buying underwear and buying bargain basement underwear. It's just like, hey, I can get 15 for $10, and then you take 2 steps out of the house, and all of a sudden it feels like a tangled hammock between your legs, and you're like, now I understand why so many for so little. That's what it feels like today. So if I seem a little off, there's a reason. It's because I am. Anyways, Funkhauser, how you been?
Pretty good. I had a nice little 3-day weekend thanks to you. How was Big Sur?
It was, you know what? It was a much-needed vacation. I took a day off. You know what's interesting, though? I took a day off. One day off. Mm-hmm. Didn't come in yesterday. I had to work till 4 in the morning. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on Friday night to get the hell out of the house in time to take my little extended 3-day weekend jaunt. I don't know. And there's like, all right, I'll let people that are listening in. I'll peel back the radio curtain just a scotch and let you know what it's like to do the stuff that I do, having clawed my way to middle management. Everybody's getting ready to go on vacation. So I came back to work with a bump today when I opened up my email and got like 3 or 4 different messages being like, hey, you know all that stuff you usually get done in a week? We're going to need it done we're going to need 2 times that amount, and we're going to need it done in the next 3 days. And I'm considering how I can politely tell everybody to go F off. And I haven't come across the most diplomatic way to extend my invitation to sit on my fist. But I'll figure it out. Somehow I'll manage. My father always told me, my father being a corporate lawyer, that dealt with much bigger and better problems and conflict resolution than I ever will in this lifetime. A guy that went and did oil deals in the 70s in Russia. Like my dad used to go do oil deals in the 70s in Cold War Russia. And he said that like his coworkers, he was like, I didn't have to do it because I had a reasonably good tolerance. His coworkers he was going into a meeting once, and he was in the bathroom getting ready for it, and one of his coworkers was eating a half a pound of butter, and he's like, what the hell are you doing? And as an intimidation tool, Russians, when they negotiated back in the day, every time you reached an agreement somewhere along the lines in the contract, they ask you to take a shot. And the idea is like, well, it's intimidation, and then you want to get your the people you're negotiating with drunk. And this guy didn't have much of a tolerance, so he was eating half a pound of butter, so the alcohol wouldn't make it into his system. Anyways, my dad, who negotiated in way more severe circumstances than I ever will in this lifetime, once told me that diplomacy is the art of letting people have things your way. So I'm going to attempt to do that without losing butter. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to do that this week without effectively threatening to burn people's worlds down, which is a lot more my speed and a lot more what I'm wired to do. But, you know, 'tis a freaking joyous Yuletide season, so I'm trying to find a better middle way to let people know that, that stuff you want, guess what? You might not be getting it. And here's the thing. You're going to be okay with it. Any ideas, Funkhauser? No.